All right. So 2021 is going to be upon us before we know it. And I wanted to wrap here with each of your feelings on the economy, technology and politics. Economy, technology, politics. How do you feel about 2021? Are you optimistic, pessimistic, neutral on those? Economy, politics, technology.
Have you guys ever been to Magic Mountain or Disneyland? You ever get in one of those log rides and it's like raging rapids or roaring waters or whatever they're called?
Sure.
And it's just fucking like you hop in and this thing just takes off down the river. I mean, I don't know. Nothing summarizes it up better for me. But in so many ways, is that where I feel we are right now? We've all jumped on a bunch of fucking logs and we're shooting down this rapid river. And I think a big part of what I'm feeling, and Chamath is in the middle of this, but there's this extraordinary velocity of capital right now. And when I say that, I just mean capital is moving in large amounts very freely. And that creates like once in a generation kind of opportunity. It's in part because the Fed has dropped interest rates to zero. So there's trillions of dollars moving markets. There's a change and an outlook, and the world is being shifted in so many ways. This is this really amazing moment that I think we can all be afraid of because we're on a fucking roaring rapid on a log trying to stay afloat. But there is so much happening in these markets that we kind of operate in. There's never been a better time to get your business funded or to take your company public or to get customers to make quick decisions and change their behavior, whether they're a consumer or an enterprise customer. Money and decisions are happening money's moving at a faster pace than we've ever seen, and decisions are happening at a faster pace than we've ever seen. That's my general sentiment. I don't think it stops going into 2021. There's just another kind of floodgate about to open with this election, one way or the other. But we're in the middle of this kind of raging rapids right now, and it's a pretty scary but also kind of exciting kind of time.
It's so well said, Quinoa. I really agree with you. I think that it's kind of like if you used to take a second to make a $1 decision and a minute to take a $100 decision, the amount of money being flooded into the economy now allows you to make a $100 decision in a second, right? So like the order of magnitude of the mental barrier that it takes has changed. And I agree with you. I was thinking earlier this week that it's a really incredible time to be alive in one very specific way, which is obviously there's stuff that's happening that's really turbulent, but there is a chance that a bunch of us can really like change things in a meaningful way. And I find it exciting. So I'm generally I'm super bullish on the economy. I'm super bullish on tech. And I think I'm actually kind of like reasonably optimistic about politics. I think that we're going to find our civility soon. And I don't know why that's going to happen or how it's going to get triggered. But I think honestly, like the election of Biden will go such a long way to just, just showing what is rewarded, and then to figure out how to reward the folks that were supporting Trump in the first place for purposes of economic, pushback.
Could be a nice de-escalation, in fact, and maybe an olive branch if Biden can bring that Republican Party into the conversation.
Yeah, and Sachs had this really beautiful thing that he posted on Twitter, which was like, a lot of San Francisco's dysfunction is really going to spread wealth throughout the rest of the country, because a lot of cities that were shut out of all these tech gains will now see it. And now you can imagine all kinds of people. There's a guy that I, follow on Twitter. He lives in Bowie, Maryland. He's an engineer at VMware, this black guy. And he was just talking about how he got promoted and he's now a principal engineer. And, and I just thought like, this is really fucking cool. Like there's going to be all this redistribution of opportunity all around the country. And that'll happen because of coronavirus, because of people's frustration with California, because, of a handful of us, how fed up we've gotten with the culture of Silicon Valley, including, by the way, what Brian Armstrong wrote, which again, still very important. And so we'll all be better off for that. So I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic.
Sachs, tech, economy, politics, 2021.
Well, I'm super bullish about about the entrepreneurial energy in the American economy. It's 100 times greater than when we started out our careers in this business, 20 years ago, in terms of the number of companies that get funded, the ideas, the tools that are available, the funding. I mean, when you think about it, this might be the first time in human history where money is chasing throwing money at the ideas. I mean, throughout history, until I'd say the last 10, 20 years ago, the people who had no money but had great ideas always had to go hat in hand to go find the capital. And now it's completely the other way around. There's so many VCs, and they're all racing around trying to find the people with ideas. And
it was worse than that, Sachs. They had to go give their ideas to a big company and take a salary.
Right. Like, so Tesla, Nikola Tesla, the original inventor, didn't profit at all from his ideas, And so that was pretty common. And so just how entrepreneurial the U.S. economy has become. The new economy is completely taken over, and I'm bullish on that. I think the tweet that Chamath was referencing, I said that San Francisco's loss is going to be America's gain, the rest of America's gain, because middle America was really left out of the new economy. It's just not where it was taking place. And so, globalization really gutted industrial America, agricultural America. They didn't get to participate in the enormous wealth creation of the last 2 or 3 decades. And I think, because of what San Francisco has done in terms of driving out companies, I think the companies are going to be, tech companies are going to be all over the US now.
Yeah, totally. It's fucking awesome.